Okay, the recording has started. Are you ready?
Uh,
Huh?
unfortunately.
All right.
Unfortunately.
All right, here we go. What's going on, guys? It's been a while, but welcome back to another video with Matt and Vin. We have an emergency video today because I've been getting text messages for the last 2 weeks about Isak possibly leaving Newcastle, and today we have some really big news. And honestly, this morning I got the text and I was just sick of hearing it. So I was like, we're making a video. So go ahead, Vinny. Tell me what's going on.
Well, it seems like it's been confirmed, or at least reported on, that there's been some personal terms agreed between Liverpool and Isak, looking down the barrel of a 5-year contract. No money's exchanged hands between the clubs. It's just early reporting by Sky Sports. But I would say this pretty much means he's as good as gone, right? Like that he made it a point, right?
Yeah.
He wants to go, obviously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he made that apparent a little while ago, and now it's just been slowly moving towards this. You've been telling me for the last month that you think he's been going. I mean, honestly, I feel like you've been saying this for a year, but now, that they're in a really good position to sign all these players, which is unbelievable to me. It's actually crazy. We'll get into that in a minute. But I mean, after everyone they've already landed, now they're going for Isak. And if you're saying the contract's pretty much already there, like I could not imagine what this team's going to look like. It's crazy. And obviously you are distraught yourself because you don't know what your team's going to look like either. So,
well, I can tell you that we're not going to look. I mean, look, all right. I don't want to doom already. I'll save that for week one, then I'll start dooming. I'll start dooming after week one, 45 minutes into the season, then I'll start dooming. But
you've been dooming for 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's the preseason doom.
I'm warming up. Text at 7 a.m. 3 individual times. I'm at work. You're at work. It's 7 a.m. and you're thinking about Isak, and I literally get these texts saying, "Bro, it's over. Oh my God, the season's done.
It's over.
It's not even August yet. You said you're not going to doom till week one. I'm sorry. You've been dooming for 2-3 weeks now."
Well, here's the thing. This Isak saga, we'll call it the saga, because it's been going on, right? I mean, like, the initial parts of me pretty much coming to the realization that it was over was when Isak, he hasn't been with the team. He didn't travel for the preseason stuff. They keep saying this lame, he's injured excuse. Okay, obviously we know he's not, right? He's just not traveling with the team because of all the publicity around this transfer. He didn't come with us to Celtic Park. He hasn't been with us part of the Asian tour where we just played Arsenal. And he made it a point. It was reported, at least, that he did say that he wanted to seek other options. So, I mean, as well as anyone watching knows, when a player says they want to seek other options, that's pretty much them saying, I'm not going to be here next season. And then to follow it up with reaching personal agreement on terms with Liverpool, he's already mentally moved on, so it's just going to be a matter of, like I said earlier, money exchanging hands. It's upsetting to me because I think that Newcastle's been on a trajectory like this. They've been going up, and
absolutely,
to lose their best player, arguably their best player at this time, their talisman, is like I don't want to say it's going to crumble the project, but it's going to be a huge backstep. Even Alan Shearer came out in an interview and said Newcastle's looking ridiculous. And a lot of other outlets reported if Newcastle wants to be a big club, they can't sell Isak. That's something big clubs do. Big clubs hold on to their big players. Now, is it a little different because we're facing PSR problems with the Saudi PIF ownership, et cetera, et cetera? Maybe. Is it just time to cash in while we can? Maybe. But you're losing the best striker in the world, arguably. In my eyes, as a Newcastle fan, biased as all hell, he is the out-and-out best center forward in the entire world, and we're basically going to give him to a direct competitor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say he's the best, but he's up there for sure, probably top 5, no doubt. So yeah, that would be detrimental. I'm not going to deny that, but at the same time, you hope that your club can take this money and rebuild. you do. We last season we talked about how bad you needed backup players and how bad you needed a center back and what was it, a right winger or whatever. And Isak can help supply your team with 3, 4, 5 players that are quality players that could really turn out to be something special. Or even cash in on maybe one player that's supposed to be special. That's kind of what they did with Isak in the first place, and now they're going to double their money on him. So I know, this sucks. It's very bad. You're probably not going to finish as high as you did this last year. I would. I remember at the beginning of last season, I thought you guys were going to be one of the best teams in the league, and at the end of the season, you ended up being up there. But I think you didn't think Newcastle were going to be as good as they were, did you, last season?
Yeah, I had them actually pretty high because we didn't have the Champions League.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So, but still, I mean, your team didn't underachieve, I would say. Your team still
No,
did well.
no, and we made it back to the Champions League, which a lot of my heart wanted to say, "Oh, we made the Champions League." I even said this to you: we made the Champions League. We're going to keep Isak, right? That's what he wants. Now, it comes into the thing you've always been telling me. It's the allure of going to Liverpool's a bigger
Yeah.
club than Newcastle. Newcastle's not a small club, but it's not Liverpool. You know what I mean? And it is an upgrade technically. I mean, you're moving up, even though we're direct competitors. We're fighting for Final Fours. We beat them in the EFL Cup. Liverpool is still a massive upgrade from Newcastle, as much as it hurts me to say it. And I feel like he's still young enough where he wants his career to stay on that trajectory. The money that we'll get back from him is going to be huge. I mean, off cam, we were talking about how we're in talks with Sesko, Johan Wissa. Like, we're going to get a replacement for him.
Right.
Now, are we going to get a Isak level replacement? Probably not. There's only one Isak in the world.
So on the point I was trying to make with that is like you did well last season and losing Isak is going to be bad, but like you still have a really good team. You have all this money to reinvest into the team. You may not even do as well as you did last year, but you're not going to fall out of the top half of the table. You're still going to be competing for Europe. Like your team still has a lot of very quality players all over the pitch. And, I'm with the Isak money, I would not be surprised to see a couple players come in that are really good. Look, I always bring up the example to you. Look at Tottenham when they sold Gareth Bale. Tottenham selling Gareth Bale is what helped put them on the trajectory to be one of the bigger clubs. And now, obviously, last season they had a horrible season, but for the last 10 years, Tottenham have been a bigger club because they sold Gareth Bale, right? Gareth Bale was the best player in the world. Everyone was like, oh my God, he's so amazing. He was amazing. And they saw dollar signs. They took the dollar signs and went to a Champions League final years later because of it. So that's why I'm always telling you, it's not over. Stay optimistic. You can get better. It might not be 1 year from now. It might be 2-3 years from now, but it will happen. Just be patient.
It really will just
feels
come
like the end
down
of the
to
world now, but like I've seen players go. We lost Hazard to Real Madrid, and I thought it was over forever. And we ended up winning a Champions League without Hazard. And then we went, to the bottom half of the table. Oh my God, we're gonna get relegated. Last season, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be a bottom half table. And then now look at us. We win the Club World Cup, and people are like, oh, Chelsea could win the Premier League. I don't know if anyone could beat Liverpool right now, but still, all I'm saying is like this is how it goes. You experience the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and you'll come back. You will come back.
I think it really will also depend on who we replace Isak with, right? Like that's going to
Yeah.
be the whole thing. I mean, if we get Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig, is he going to perform in the Premier League? We hope so. I mean, he's definitely a high level talent. They're talking huge world class money for him, 80s, 90s, 70s, millions and millions of dollars. So you would assume that he's going to be, a top talent. But I also just think that when you're losing a generational kind of player, no matter who you bring in and how much money you spend, you're never going to actually replace that person ever. We could use it for depth, like you said. I mean, we signed Alanga, and now Jacob Murphy could be the backup. That's depth. We have two good left wingers. But how it stands right now is we literally don't have a striker. I mean, yeah, we have Will Asula, who started the other day against Arsenal, got an assist too in Alanga. He's just raw talent. You know, we also lost Callum Wilson. So now we're really left with no true, tried and true, out and out striker. That's what's scary. That's at least when we had Isak. If we had Isak and no one else, I'd say, hey, we could still finish in the top four. We have Isak.
Yeah.
That's what's scary. Is there who's the guy who's going to step up next?
So I mean,
I don't really know.
On that point, you know, you need someone who's going to come in and score at least 10, 15 goals a year. You're not going to get someone like Isak, but you just need someone to come in and be consistent, to score goals when they need to be scored, that can finish. And you know, you said you have some people coming in and they're looking at people, and the problem is it's not going to be Isak, right? Like no matter who you bring in, Isak is a world-class player. He could make people look silly. He could score goals from anywhere. He could, you know, put a move on somebody and then rip a shot that was absolutely insane. And you're not going to have someone like that right off the bat. But you can get someone that develops into that player. Isak wasn't that player the day one when you bought him. He was extremely good. But Isak wasn't the player he is today that he was when you bought him, you know? So, you know, you might get someone that comes in and is really good and then develops into a player better than Isak. To bring it back to my point about Hazard, look at Cole Palmer. Some people already say Cole Palmer's better than Hazard ever was. They're two different kinds of players, but if he could stay healthy, he could be a better player than Hazard ever was, you know? And that's the thing. It's like you have to gamble on these players and see who's going to shake out and be an actually good player. Look at Mudryk. Mudryk was supposed to be that player. Chelsea spent all that money and then we flopped on him. That might happen too, but you just got to give it time. And honestly, this season's probably not going to be a great season for you, but who knows, dude? You might get someone that comes in and all of a sudden they score 15 goals, 20 goals, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the other disheartening thing is, and I know you've lived through it more times and people over in England have lived through it more times. There's people in other leagues, France, you know, for example, or Germany that are living through it right now. But on the flip side of this entire thing, on the opposite side of the table, we have to talk about Liverpool's Abramovich level spending and the fact that I could probably bet my house that it's a wrap if they get Isak. Like the Premier League's just already over, right? Like they would have the top two goal scorers from last year in Mohamed Salah and Isak. They brought in the top level player from Germany in Ekitike. They already broke the world record or the English record once by bringing in Wirtz. They brought in Frimpong. They got to keep people like Van Dijk, Mo Salah. They're looking insane. They basically took a page out of the Man City textbook and they're about to roll. They're going to roll table if they get Isak.
They are the new Man City. On paper, they are the new Man City, and I don't know if there's a team in world football that could stop them. Maybe PSG, but they just lost to Chelsea. But at the same time, I don't see Chelsea beating this team if Isak goes there. Like, they're insane. So, again, I really think there's not a team in world football that can beat this team when it matters. They're probably going to win the Champions League. They might win a treble. Like, it's crazy.
And you know, you got to think about it. That you know they're flirting with danger, I would say, with the amount they're spending. But then you look at their departures. They've sold some people. I mean, just yesterday, Luis Diaz is almost $70 million to Bayern Munich. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, that to me, when I saw that, that's even more fuel to the fire that, like, yeah, they're making a move for Isak because they need the money. So, you know, and a couple other people left. They got a couple $1 million here and there. I think so far, minus Isak, barring that deal goes through, they're over $300 million spent. But with the Luis Diaz sale, they've sold like $130 million worth of players.
What if Darwin Nunez goes to Newcastle? Like, what if they swap?
Dude, look, listen,
like,
I
plus
brought this up in
cash?
one of our videos last year that I would be okay
Yeah.
with 120 mil, 130 mil,
All right,
and
that's
give
a
us,
lot, bro. That's
dude, listen,
what
I
about
just
like
said
80?
to you,
80 mil and Darwin Nunez.
Alexander Isak is not going for less money than Florian Wirtz. I am sorry.
What
It's
do you
just
mean,
not
dude?
happening.
Darwin Nunez is worth like 50 mil.
Yeah, so there you go. Give us 120 mil and give us Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez was
You want
lucky.
170 mil for
100. What are they going to do with Darwin Nunez? Obviously, they're going to sell him. He's probably going to go to Saudi Arabia or something.
Wirtz went for how much? We looked up the other
It was
day.
like 122, 125, something like that.
120, 130, some shit like that.
Yeah, so Isak's got to be in that
You think-
ballpark.
Yeah, he's not going to be 170. He'll be like 130, 140 probably. So Darwin Nunez and 80 mil. Would you take that?
No,
Why?
because Darwin Nunez is.
You're going to have to
Darwin
spend
Nunez.
40 to 60 mil to get a player like that anyway.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Is Darwin Nunez really the answer? I've been saying that I think there's a good player there. Liverpool just never gave him much of a chance because it's Liverpool and, you know, they had better players. Maybe Darwin Nunez just needs a couple more years and he could be amazing. But, I mean, look, Chelsea just sold João Felix for less than 50 mil.
Mhm.
I think João Felix is a better player than Darwin Nunez. So I wouldn't say that Darwin Nunez is worth 60,
Some people
60
would
mil.
beg to differ, but yeah.
I would say that, 110 to 120 plus Darwin Nunez would bring it to like 150, 160.
So now, could we see Darwin Nunez staying, or is he getting sold no matter what you think?
I mean, at this point, I feel like Liverpool's got no left wing, 2 strikers, and a right wing. So I have
Isak's
no idea
gonna play
what's
left
going on.
wing. I think Isak's going to play left wing.
I think it's going to end up being Ekitike.
You think so?
Could be.
Did he play left wing?
He's the kind of player that could play basically straight across the front.
He did. Okay.
He could kind of play everywhere, and we know Liverpool's got that fluid style where
I mean,
they kind of rotate
is
around.
Isak. We saw Isak play on the left. Like he's
That's
disgusting.
what I mean. When they line up, I wouldn't say that Isak would ever line up on the left, but I would say that throughout the game that the 3 of them would rotate positions quite often.
Yeah.
Mo Salah, Ekitike. I mean, even Luis Diaz used to play up front sometimes. You know what I mean? So I think that would be a fluid kind of attacking offense. Maybe like think of PSG, where like sometimes Dembele's on the left, sometimes he's on the right, sometimes he's in the middle, sometimes he's a false 9. You have no idea where Dembele is going to be. And then you got people like Barcola and Desiree Doué and those guys all over the place behind him. I could see that being the kind of thing that that Liverpool goes for. But I would definitely say that the knock-on effect of Isak inevitably, in my mind, going to Liverpool is going to be crazy for the whole Premier League. And it seems like leading up to this, I was saying to you earlier, there's been like a mad dash of people trying to get, like with this news circulating around Isak, I feel like there's been a mad dash of people signing high-profile forwards. We have Arsenal, got one. Man United got Mbuemo and is going after Sesko with Newcastle. It's João Pedro goes to Chelsea. There's been this weird, not to get into it, but I said to you earlier, like last season, people were saying there's a shortage of forwards, and then this summer transfer window, it seems like all these forwards are going for huge money. Now, is it because there's a shortage and there's only a select few and everyone's overspending to get them? According to Transfer Market, Liverpool overspent on Ekitike by like 10 mil.
Yeah, I mean, I told you this before. I don't think that there's a shortage in strikers. I think there's a shortage in world-class strikers because there's a couple that everyone's buying up right now, but there's a lot that are still unproven that are going for $60-70 million. And I think it's just because that's what you have to pay for a good striker. Not even if you want a world-class striker, you're paying 100, 130 plus. But if you just want a good striker at this point, you're spending 60, 70, 80 mil. So even like an above average striker is 90, 100 mil. You know, I mean, look at a couple years ago with the midfielders. That's what Chelsea paid for these midfielders, and then all these other teams were paying stupid money for midfielders because, there's a couple world class, but to get a very good one, you still have to spend stupid amounts of money.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but then last year nobody spent any money, and now this year there's just money being thrown everywhere. It's crazy.
Well, and I also think, not to stray off topic too much, but with your midfielder example is you guys, Chelsea, spent massive. I mean, your two midfielders that you bought were like $220 million. That's crazy.
Yep.
But then all of a sudden, people see, to use me as an example, Newcastle, we didn't spend anywhere near $200 million on Bruno and Tonali and Joe Ellington. And throughout the season, people were arguing that those were three of the best center mids. That was the three best center midfield duo at times in the Premier League. So like you said, now all of a sudden, no one's spending massive, massive, massive money on these crazy duos. I mean, barring Liverpool, they're spending crazy money on everybody, but you're not hearing of these insane. So, my question to you, being around a little bit longer in terms of following the sport and the transfer windows, where does this leave the world and future transfers? Isak goes to Liverpool. Ekitike goes. These guys are going for almost 100 mil, and Isak probably 100 plus more. Next year, is there just going to be this drop off of, all right, nobody's buying strikers anymore? Or is this going to be the new bar of like, if you want a striker, you're spending $95 million minimum, or you're not getting a striker at all? Or do people just not value them as high after this window and say, we'll spend the $100 million elsewhere?
I think you'll probably see a drop off because I feel like everyone's flashing their cash right now and buying all the good strikers up. This is the new wave of strikers, right? Like, I think that was the point last year is there's no good strikers right now. And like, if you thought about who are the best strikers in the world last year, you would say Harry Kane, Lewandowski. You would say Isak, obviously, but people would say Osimhen, players like that. Well, all these new players that you've said, João Pedro, who's the dude Arsenal bought?
Gresh.
Right? He's not that young, but also he is a part of this new wave of strikers that are like popping off on the scene. Isak blowing up, João Pedro, right? You have all of these good strikers that are getting into the primes of their career, becoming great strikers, and everyone's like, oh man, we need to buy all these players up. So next year you might not see a you might not see a big, as we would say in American sports, you might not see a big class of up and coming strikers, right? We have the draft here. And you look at every class, people say, oh, this class isn't a good quarterback class. Next year, there might not be that large group of strikers that are up and coming, that are popping off this year. Maybe it's just all the guys that were bought up this last year and, there's not a bunch of transfers. That's what I would expect to happen, honestly. And then another year or two from now, you will see that boom again of midfielder, strikers, whatever it is. So...
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, nothing's set in stone yet. But it's pretty inevitable that Isak's going to go when the Premier League's already over, and it hasn't even started yet. And I'm sad.
Well, that's our emergency video today. Vinny is going through a crisis, and we needed to share it with you guys and talk about this a little bit. He needed to vent, honestly. That was the real thing. He's been
I'm happy. Listen,
forever.
If Isak helped us win a trophy after 7 decades, he tore it up. He put Newcastle, repinned us on the map. Obviously, Newcastle's a big club, but he brought a lot of attention towards us, him and along with some of the other signings like Bruno, Tonali, these guys. So he did his part. Maybe this was Isak's whole purpose. Come here, do great. Was Isak a lifelong Newcastle player? Probably not, right? It was only a matter of time until he went anywhere else. Is it soon? I think so. Maybe he could have done another couple seasons. I just hope from the bottom of my heart that it works at Liverpool if he goes there, or wherever he may end up one day. I hope he stays, but I hope it works out. I hope he wins a lot of trophies because he deserves it. And 10 years from now, when people make the videos of like the strikers from the 2020s, I hope that Isak is going to be that guy, and I hope that he has a lot of trophies with Liverpool or whatever team he goes to. And there's a little note in there that says he popped off at Newcastle. That's where I'm at. I'm pissed.
Sure there
I'm
will
sad.
I'm sure there will
but
be.
I hope the best for him wherever he inevitably ends up.
Shout out to Isak. On that note, we are back. We're making videos again. We will be putting out a podcast on Spotify and YouTube every Sunday. It's going to be more chill focused. We're going to be maybe watching some games, maybe just playing video games, maybe just chilling, talking. Maybe we're smoking cigars. Maybe we're doing whatever. Hi, June. Hi, June. She is so cute.
June's upset about Isak.
She is. You could tell with her Newcastle stripes. But that podcast will be every Sunday night or Monday morning, so keep your eye out. And we will be putting out more videos like this where we're just covering news topics, talking about what's going on in the world, maybe hitting, just some big news stories from the games of the last weekend or whatever. So keep your eye out for a video during the week. Anything you want to say, Vin?
No, that's it. I'm excited for the Premier League season. It can't come soon enough, and I'm excited to see what happens with this Isak saga.
Awesome. I agree. I'm excited. I'm super hyped for this Premier League, and it's only 2 weeks away now, or 2.5 weeks away.
We're right there, baby.
We're right there. Let's do it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your pets. We got to get them viewers back, and we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you check out the Twitter and stuff too. Peace.